The day the sky turned purple was the day humanity realized they were not alone in the universe. It was a Tuesday, just like any other, when the massive ships appeared in Earth's orbit. They blocked out the sun, casting long shadows across the planet's surface and bathing everything in an eerie violet light. At first, people thought it was some kind of strange weather phenomenon. News channels buzzed with speculation, and social media exploded with theories. But as the hours ticked by, it became clear that this was something far beyond Earth's understanding. World leaders gathered in emergency meetings, militaries went on high alert, and ordinary people huddled around their screens, waiting for answers. The wait wasn't long. As the world held its breath, a message crackled across every radio frequency, television channel, and internet connection. People of Earth, a deep, otherworldly voice boomed. We are the Galactic Council. Your isolation ends today. The voice went on to explain that Earth had been discovered by their deep space probes years ago. They had been watching, studying, and debating what to do with this newly discovered civilization. The Council, made up of the oldest and most advanced species in the galaxy, had finally decided it was time to make contact. As the initial shock wore off, excitement began to build. Scientists were ecstatic at the prospect of advanced alien knowledge. Politicians saw opportunities for galactic diplomacy, and everyday people dreamed of the possibilities this new connection might bring. But not everyone shared this optimism. Military leaders warned of potential threats, and conspiracy theorists shouted that this was the beginning of the end. Their voices were largely drowned out by the wave of hope and curiosity sweeping the globe. A meeting was arranged. The Council requested that Earth send representatives to their main ship for formal introductions. After much debate, a diverse group was chosen: scientists, diplomats, and military personnel from various nations. As the human delegation boarded their shuttle, the world watched with bated breath. The journey to the alien ship was short but filled with tension. What would these beings look like? What did they want from Earth? The answers came soon enough, and they were not what anyone expected. The Council members were a sight to behold. Some looked almost human, while others were so alien that the human mind struggled to comprehend their forms. But it wasn't their appearance that shocked the Earth's representatives. It was their words. "We have been observing your kind for some time," the lead council member said, its voice a mix of clicks and whistles translated through advanced technology. "And we have come to a troubling conclusion." The humans listened, confusion growing with each word. "Your species is dangerous," the alien continued. "Primitive, yet advancing at an alarming rate. Your history is filled with violence, your planet scarred by your carelessness. We cannot allow such a volatile race to join the galactic community." The human delegates tried to argue, to explain, to plead their case, but the Council had made its decision long before this meeting. For the safety of all sentient life in the galaxy, humanity must be contained. The Council decreed, "You will be given one planetary cycle to prepare. After that, we will take whatever measures necessary to ensure you do not leave your world." With those ominous words, the meeting was over. The human delegation was sent back to Earth, their minds reeling from what they had just heard. As news of the Council's decision spread, panic gripped the world. Governments scrambled to prepare defenses, knowing they were hopelessly outmatched. Scientists worked around the clock, trying to advance Earth's technology in a desperate race against time. And ordinary people faced the terrifying reality that their dreams of a bright, interstellar future had turned into a nightmare. The purple sky, once a source of wonder, now loomed like a brewing storm. Humanity had 1 year to find a way out of this impossible situation. 1 year before the Galactic Council would return, not as friends, but as jailers. Little did the Council know, they had just awakened a sleeping giant. For deep beneath the Earth's surface, a power lay dormant, waiting for the moment when humanity would need it most. The clock was ticking, and the fate of the human race hung in the balance. 1 year passed in the blink of an eye. Despite Earth's best efforts, they were nowhere near ready to face the technological might of the Galactic Council. As the deadline approached, a tense quiet fell over the planet. People huddled in their homes, eyes fixed on the purple sky, waiting for the hammer to fall. It came without warning. On the morning of the 365th day, the world woke to chaos. Massive energy beams sliced through Earth's atmosphere, cutting swaths of destruction across major cities. New York, Tokyo, London, Moscow, all were hit in the first wave. Millions died in seconds. The Galactic Council's attack was swift and merciless. Their ships, once stationary in Earth's orbit, now swarmed the planet like angry hornets. Smaller craft darted between skyscrapers, firing strange weapons that turned everything they touched to dust. Humanity's defenses, so carefully prepared over the past year, crumbled like sandcastles before a tidal wave. Fighter jets were swatted from the sky. Tanks and artillery were vaporized before they could fire a single shot. It seemed the Council had been holding back, hiding their true power until this moment. But humans are nothing if not stubborn. Even as their cities burned and their militaries faltered, they refused to give up. In underground bunkers and hidden bases, Earth's leaders regrouped and planned their counterattack. Scientists worked frantically to reverse engineer alien technology from the few downed ships they managed to capture. Hackers launched cyber attacks against the Council's systems, searching for any weakness they could exploit. And all around the world, ordinary people took up arms, forming resistance groups to fight the alien invaders. One such group was led by Sarah Chen, a former software engineer from San Francisco. She and her team had set up a base in the ruins of Silicon Valley, using salvaged tech to coordinate with other resistance cells around the globe. "We can't match them in the air or on the ground," Sarah told her team as they huddled around a makeshift command center. "But we can outsmart them. We know our planet better than they ever will." Her words proved prophetic. While the Council's forces dominated in open combat, they struggled with Earth's varied terrain and unpredictable weather. Resistance fighters used this to their advantage, launching guerrilla attacks from dense jungles, scorching deserts, and frozen tundras. In the Andes Mountains, a group of former miners turned a sprawling cave system into a deadly trap for alien patrols. In the Australian outback, Aboriginal trackers led strike teams through the harsh landscape, ambushing Council supply lines. And in the heart of Africa, a coalition of nations turned the Congo Basin into an impenetrable fortress, using the dense rainforest as cover for their operations. These small victories gave humanity hope, but they knew it wasn't enough. The Council's technological advantage was too great. For every alien ship they managed to bring down, 10 more seemed to take its place. The turning point came 3 months into the war. Dr. Aisha Khalid, a quantum physicist working in a secret facility beneath the Sahara Desert, made a breakthrough. She had been studying a piece of alien tech recovered from a downed ship, and what she found changed everything. "It's not just advanced," she explained to the world's remaining leaders over a secure video link. "It's impossible. The materials, the energy output, it defies the laws of physics as we understand them." Her team's analysis suggested that the Council's technology wasn't just a few centuries ahead of Earth's. It was millennia beyond anything humanity had ever dreamed of. The gap seemed insurmountable. But Dr. Khalid wasn't ready to give up. "There's something else," she said, her eyes gleaming with excitement. "We found references in the alien computer systems to something called the Sleepers, and they seem to be talking about Earth." As the leaders listened in stunned silence, Dr. Khalid laid out her theory. The impossible technology, the Council's fear of humanity's potential, the mysterious references, it all pointed to one incredible conclusion. "I don't think we're as primitive as we thought," she said. "I think we're the descendants of something far greater, something that scared the Council so much they buried our history and left us to develop in isolation." Her words sent shockwaves through the resistance. If she was right, it meant humanity wasn't fighting to protect their home. They were fighting to reclaim their legacy. As news of Dr. Khalid's discovery spread, a new fire was lit in the hearts of Earth's defenders. They had been backed into a corner, outgunned and outmatched. But now, they had something the Council didn't expect: the truth about their own past. The war for Earth was far from over, but for the first time since the invasion began, humanity dared to hope. They weren't just fighting for survival anymore. They were fighting to awaken the giants that slept within their very DNA. And somewhere, deep beneath the Earth's surface, something ancient stirred in response to their call. #Galactic Council attacks humanity. So we awakened them. Run. Part 3. The Revelation of the Mystery. Dr. Aisha Khalid's discovery about the sleepers sparked a frenzied search across the globe. If humanity truly had a hidden past, the key to unlocking it, and possibly saving Earth, had to be somewhere on the planet. Teams of scientists, archaeologists, and even treasure hunters scoured every corner of the world. They explored ancient ruins, dug into long-forgotten caves, and combed through dusty archives. All the while, the war with the Galactic Council raged on overhead. It was a race against time. Every day, more of Earth fell under Council control. The alien forces pushed humanity further and further into the corners of their own world. But the search continued, driven by a desperate hope that somewhere, somehow, the secrets of their past waited to be found. The breakthrough came from an unexpected source. In the heart of the Amazon rainforest, a small team led by Brazilian anthropologist Dr. João Silva made a startling discovery. They found a hidden entrance to what looked like an ancient bunker, its metal walls covered in vines and earth. "It's impossible," Dr. Silva said as his team carefully cleared away the overgrowth. "This structure, it's not made of any material I've ever seen before." As they ventured deeper into the bunker, their amazement grew. The walls were lined with strange symbols that seemed to glow faintly in the dark. Weird machines, covered in dust, but somehow still humming with power, filled vast chambers. But the real shock came when they reached the heart of the complex. There, in a massive circular room, they found rows upon rows of what looked like sleep pods. And inside those pods were people. Or at least, they looked like people, but there was something off about them. They were taller, their features sharper, their skin seeming to shimmer with an inner light. "My God," whispered Dr. Silva. "We found them. The sleepers." News of the discovery spread like wildfire through what remained of Earth's communication networks. Dr. Khalid and her team were immediately flown to the site, along with military leaders and what few world government officials were left. As they studied the ancient facility, more and more pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. The strange language on the walls turned out to be an early form of many Earth languages. The machines, once they figured out how to activate them, contained vast stores of information about advanced science and technology. But the biggest revelation came when they managed to wake one of the sleepers. Her name was Aria, and her story changed everything they thought they knew about human history. "We were not always of this world," Aria explained, her voice strong despite having been in stasis for thousands of years. "Long ago, our civilization spanned the stars. We were the ones who helped form the Galactic Council, who brought peace to warring alien races." She went on to tell a tale that seemed more like science fiction than history. The ancestors of humanity had been a powerful, technologically advanced race. They had traveled the galaxy, built wonders beyond imagination, and unlocked the secrets of the universe. But their power had come at a cost. They had pushed the boundaries of science too far, creating technologies that threatened the very fabric of space and time. "The Council feared us," Aria said, her eyes filled with ancient sorrow. "They feared what we might do with our knowledge. So they turned against us, drove us from our homes among the stars. Earth," she explained, "had been a last refuge, a hidden world where the last of their kind could hide from the Council's wrath. They had placed themselves in stasis, hoping that one day their descendants might reclaim their heritage. We left guardians," Aria said, "machines and programs designed to watch over humanity as it grew, to nudge your development, to keep you safe until you were ready to learn the truth. As Arya spoke, the humans listening felt a strange stirring in their minds. It was as if long dormant parts of their brains were waking up, recognizing the truth in her words. Dr. Khaled, her mind racing with the implications, asked the question they were all thinking. "Can you help us fight the Council?" Arya's answer was both thrilling and terrifying. "We can do more than fight them," she said, a fierce light in her eyes. "We can remind them why they feared us in the first place." As the team digested this information, alarms began to blare throughout the facility. On the surface, Council ships had detected the energy spike from the awakening sleepers. They were coming, and in force. The race to save humanity had entered its final desperate phase. With the sleepers awakening and the full might of the Council bearing down on them, the fate of not just Earth, but the entire galaxy hung in the balance. Arya turned to the assembled humans, her gaze intense. "It's time," she said. "Time to reclaim your birthright. Time to show the Council that humanity will not go quietly into the night." And with those words, the true war for Earth's future began. #Galactic Council attacks humanity. So we awakened them. Run. Part 4. Awakening the AI. As the alarms blared, and the Council ships descended upon the Amazon facility, Arya sprung into action. Her movements were fluid and precise, despite having just awakened from millennia of sleep. "We don't have much time," she said, her voice calm but urgent. "There's one more piece to this puzzle, one final guardian left by our ancestors." Arya led Dr. Khaled, Dr. Silva, and a small team deeper into the facility, past the rows of sleeping pods and into a chamber they hadn't yet explored. At its center stood a tall, cylindrical structure, pulsing with a soft blue light. "This," Arya explained, "is the key to our survival. An artificial intelligence created by our most brilliant minds, designed to activate only in humanity's darkest hour." Dr. Khaled stepped forward, her eyes wide with wonder. "An AI. How advanced is it?" Arya's lips curved into a small smile. "Beyond anything you can imagine. It contains the sum total of our civilization's knowledge and the strategic genius of our greatest leaders." As they spoke, the cylinder began to hum louder. Streams of light danced across its surface, forming intricate patterns. Suddenly, a voice filled the room, deep, resonant, and somehow both ancient and timeless. "I am Nexus," the AI announced. "I have slept, waiting for this moment. The time has come to fulfill my purpose." The humans in the room stood in awe. But Arya wasted no time. She began a rapid-fire conversation with Nexus in a language none of the others understood. Information flowed between them at an incredible speed. After what seemed like hours but was only minutes, Arya turned back to the group. "Nexus has analyzed our situation. It has a plan, but we'll need to act fast." Outside, the sounds of battle grew louder. The Amazon resistance fighters were giving their all to hold off the Council forces, but they were vastly outgunned. Nexus's voice filled the room again, this time speaking in a language they all understood. "To defeat the Council, we must reactivate the planetary defense grid left by your ancestors. There are 3 key locations around the world where the control nodes are hidden. We must reach them and bring them online." Holographic maps appeared in the air, showing the locations, one in the Mariana Trench, one beneath the ice of Antarctica, and one in the heart of the Sahara Desert. "But how can we possibly reach these places?" Dr. Silva asked, his voice tinged with despair. "The Council controls most of the planet's surface." "That's where I come in," Nexus replied. The blue light from the cylinder intensified, and suddenly, the ancient machines around them hummed to life. "I can reactivate some of our old technology. It won't be enough to win the war, but it will give us a fighting chance to reach the control nodes." Arya nodded, her face set with determination. "We'll need to split up. 3 teams, 3 destinations. Dr. Khaled, you'll lead the team to the Mariana Trench. Dr. Silva, you'll head to Antarctica. I'll take a team to the Sahara." What about the rest of humanity? Dr. Khaled asked, concern evident in her voice. Nexus's voice took on a tone of grim determination. I will coordinate with your global resistance networks. Every human on Earth will have a part to play in what's to come. This is no longer just a war. It's a revolution. As if on cue, the facility shook with a massive explosion. The Council forces were breaking through. We're out of time, Arya said. She turned to a bank of controls and began typing rapidly. I'm waking the rest of the sleepers. We'll need every asset we have. Around them, the stasis pods began to open, revealing more of the ancient, evolved humans. They awoke quickly, as if they'd been merely napping instead of sleeping for thousands of years. Nexus's voice rang out one last time before the teams departed. Remember, you carry within you the legacy of a civilization that once made the stars themselves tremble. The Council feared us for a reason. It's time to remind them why. With those words echoing in their minds, the teams split up. They raced through hidden tunnels that led away from the facility, emerging into a world at war. Above them, Council ships filled the sky. But for the first time since the invasion began, the humans looked up not with fear, but with defiance. The race to reactivate the planetary defense grid had begun, and with it, humanity's last, best hope for survival. #Galactic Council attacks humanity. So we awakened them. Run. Part 5. The Great Counterattack. As the three teams set out on their crucial missions, the rest of humanity prepared for the fight of their lives. Nexus, the ancient AI, kept its promise. It linked up with Earth's remaining communication networks, broadcasting a message of hope and instructions for resistance to every corner of the globe. Dr. Aisha Khalid's team raced towards the Mariana Trench in a submarine that seemed to defy the laws of physics. It moved through the water at impossible speeds, diving deeper than any human vessel had ever gone before. This technology is incredible, Aisha marveled, watching the dark waters rush by. If we survive this, it could revolutionize our understanding of science. As they neared the bottom of the trench, they encountered their first major obstacle. A squadron of Council ships had beaten them there, clearly aware of the importance of this location. They're blocking our path, the submarine's pilot announced, tension clear in his voice. But Aisha remained calm. Nexus, she called out, we need options. The AI's voice filled the submarine. Activating ancient defense protocols. Prepare for evasive maneuvers. Suddenly, the submarine's controls came alive with new options. Weapons they didn't even know they had powered up. The pilot grinned, his hands flying over the controls. Let's show these aliens what Earth can do. Meanwhile, in Antarctica, Dr. Joao Silva's team faced a different kind of challenge. They trudged through howling blizzards, the cold biting through their advanced suits. Council ships patrolled the skies above, making their progress slow and dangerous. We're never going to make it in time, one team member shouted over the wind. But Joao wasn't ready to give up. He activated a device Arya had given him before they parted ways. Suddenly, the ice beneath their feet began to shift and move. What's happening? Someone cried out in alarm. Joao laughed, a sound of pure joy in the face of adversity. Our ancestors left more than just technology. They left guardians. From the ice emerged massive creatures, like nothing seen on Earth for millions of years. They were clearly artificial, but moved with lifelike grace. These mechanical beasts formed a protective circle around the humans, shielding them from both the storm and the alien patrols. In the Sahara, Arya's team made swift progress. The desert, which should have been an impassable obstacle, seemed to bend to Arya's will. Sand dunes parted before them, revealing hidden pathways. Our ancestors knew this day might come, Arya explained as they ran. They prepared the Earth itself to aid us. But their journey wasn't without peril. A massive Council mothership loomed on the horizon, clearly guarding their destination. Arya's eyes narrowed. Nexus, it's time to wake the desert. At her words, the sand around them began to churn and rise. Massive structures, hidden for millennia, emerged from the dunes. They were weapons platforms, defense systems beyond human imagination. As each team neared their objectives, Nexus coordinated a global counterattack. All around the world, hidden caches of advanced technology activated. Resistance fighters found themselves armed with weapons that could actually harm the Council ships. Ordinary civilians discovered they could access strange powers, their dormant alien DNA awakening at last. The tide of the war began to turn. Council ships fell from the sky, their seeming invincibility shattered. On the ground, their troops found themselves outmatched by humans wielding the legacy of their forgotten past. But the Council was far from defeated. As news of the human resurgence spread through their fleet, they called for reinforcements. More ships arrived, darkening the skies over every continent. In orbit, the Council's supreme commander received reports of the battles raging on the surface, its alien features contorted in what might have been fear. "Impossible," it muttered. They were supposed to be primitives, easy to conquer. And subordinate approached, clearly nervous. "Sir, we're detecting massive energy buildups at 3 points on the planet's surface. Whatever the humans are doing, they're nearly finished." The commander's eyes narrowed. "Prepare the planet killer. If we can't have this world, no one will." As the massive weapon powered up, targeting the very heart of Earth, the 3 human teams reached their destinations. In the depths of the ocean, on the icy plains of Antarctica, and in the burning sands of the Sahara, they raced to activate the planetary defense grid. The fate of Earth, and perhaps the entire galaxy, hung in the balance. The next few moments would determine whether humanity would reclaim its cosmic legacy or be wiped from existence entirely. As the Council's planet killer weapon charged up in orbit, the 3 human teams raced against time to activate the planetary defense grid. The fate of Earth hung by a thread, with mere minutes separating survival from total annihilation. In the depths of the Mariana Trench, Dr. Aisha Khalid's team finally reached their destination. Before them stood an ancient structure, its architecture unlike anything seen on Earth. Aisha placed her hand on a glowing panel, and the facility hummed to life. "Nexus, we've reached the first node," she reported, her voice tense but determined. The AI's response was immediate. "Excellent. Initiating activation sequence. Stand by for power surge." In Antarctica, Dr. João Silva and his team, protected by their mechanical guardians, arrived at a vast underground chamber hidden beneath the ice. As they entered, lights flickered on, revealing row upon row of advanced machinery. "This is incredible," João breathed, his eyes wide with wonder. "It's like a sleeping giant, just waiting to be awakened." He approached the central console, guided by Nexus's instructions. With trembling hands, he began the activation process. Meanwhile, in the Sahara, Aria led her team to a pyramid-like structure that had risen from the sand. Unlike the other 2 locations, this one seemed to recognize her. "Welcome home, Aria," a soft voice echoed as they entered. The walls lit up with holographic displays, showing the status of the other 2 nodes. "We're cutting it close," Aria muttered, her fingers dancing over the controls. "Nexus, are we ready?" "Affirmative," the AI responded. "All 3 nodes are aligned, awaiting your command to activate the planetary defense grid." Above them, the Council's planet killer had reached full charge. The massive weapon aimed at Earth, ready to reduce the planet to cosmic dust. The Council's supreme commander gave the order. "Fire." A beam of unimaginable energy lanced out from the ship, streaking towards Earth. It seemed that all was lost. But at that very moment, Aria shouted, "Now, Nexus, activate the grid." Energy surged through the 3 ancient facilities. In the Mariana Trench, pillars of light shot up from the ocean floor. In Antarctica, the ice itself seemed to glow with power. And in the Sahara, a massive energy pyramid formed above Aria's location. These 3 beams of light met high in Earth's atmosphere, forming a shimmering translucent shield around the entire planet. The Council's destructive beams struck this shield and splashed harmlessly against it, like water on rock. On the Council's command ship, alarms blared. The Supreme Commander watched in disbelief as their ultimate weapon failed to even scratch the Earth's new defenses. Impossible, it roared. Where did these primitives get such power? But Earth's retaliation was just beginning. The planetary defense grid, now fully activated, began to pulse with energy. Suddenly, every piece of Council technology on or around Earth simply stopped working. Council ships fell from the sky, their advanced systems rendered useless by the ancient human technology. Tanks and weapons on the ground went silent. Even the mighty planet killer drifted helplessly in space, now nothing more than a giant paperweight. Back on Earth, humans everywhere watched in awe as the alien invaders' seemingly unstoppable war machine ground to a halt. Cheers erupted from every corner of the globe as people realized the tide had turned. Nexus's voice rang out across the planet. The defense grid is online. Earth is now protected from any further Council aggression. In the Sahara control room, Arya allowed herself a small smile. "It's not over yet," she said, "but now we fight on our terms." Dr. Khaled's voice came through the communication system, filled with emotion. "We did it. We actually did it." Sigh. Dr. Silva chimed in, his voice thick with relief. "But what now? The Council is still out there, and they won't give up easily." Arya's eyes gleamed with a mixture of determination and something else, a hint of the cosmic power that had lain dormant in humanity for so long. "Now," she said, her voice carrying the weight of millennia, "we remind the galaxy who we once were, and who we can be again." As if in response to her words, the defense grid pulsed once more. But this time, it wasn't just a defensive measure. Beams of energy shot out from Earth, targeting the Council's fleet. But instead of destroying the ships, it simply moved them. In the blink of an eye, the entire Council armada found itself transported to the edge of the solar system. Arya's voice, amplified by the ancient technology, echoed across space to the stunned Council ships. "You tried to cage us, to keep us from our true potential. But humanity will not be contained. This is your one warning. Run. Run and tell the galaxy that Earth is awake. The children of the stars have remembered who they are." As the Council ships fled in panic, a new era dawned for humanity. The war was over, but their journey was just beginning. In the days following Earth's miraculous victory, the planet buzzed with a mixture of excitement, relief, and apprehension. The immediate threat of the Galactic Council had passed, but humanity now faced a new challenge. What to do with their newfound power and knowledge? Arya, Dr. Aisha Khaled, and Dr. Joel Silva found themselves at the center of global attention. They, along with the AI Nexus, became the unofficial leaders of Earth's new era. "We have a lot of work ahead of us." Arya addressed a gathering of world leaders and newly awakened sleepers. "Our planet is safe, but our journey is far from over." Dr. Khaled nodded in agreement. "We've unlocked incredible technology, but we need to learn how to use it responsibly. And we must prepare," Dr. Silva added. "The Council may be gone for now, but they will return. We need to be ready." As the weeks passed, Earth underwent a rapid transformation. The ancient technology left by humanity's ancestors was gradually integrated into everyday life. Cities were rebuilt, cleaner and more efficient than ever before. The damage from the war was erased, replaced by wonders that seemed like magic to most people. But it wasn't just Earth that was changing. Nexus, connected to long-dormant satellites and space stations, reported activity in the far reaches of the solar system. "We're detecting signals," the AI announced one day. "It seems our ancestors left more than just Earth for us to reclaim." Excitement rippled through the global community. Expeditions were quickly organized to explore these newfound outposts. What they discovered amazed everyone. Fully functional bases on Mars, mining operations in the asteroid belt, even a massive space station orbiting Jupiter. It's like they left breadcrumbs for us to follow, Dr. Silva mused as they reviewed the reports, guiding us back to the stars. As humanity expanded into the solar system, they also began to unlock more of the potential hidden in their own DNA. People discovered abilities they never knew they had. Enhanced intelligence, physical capabilities beyond normal human limits, even hints of psychic powers. But with this growth came challenges. Not everyone was comfortable with the rapid changes. Some feared that humanity was losing touch with its roots, becoming something alien. Arya addressed these concerns in a global broadcast. "We are not becoming something new," she explained. "We are remembering who we always were. Our ancestors walked among the stars, and now it's our turn to reclaim that legacy." 6 months after the Council's defeat, Earth received its first visitor from beyond the solar system. It wasn't the Council returning for revenge, but a small ship carrying representatives from other races who had suffered under the Council's rule. "We come seeking alliance," their leader, a being of shimmering energy, announced. "For too long, the Council has suppressed and controlled the galaxy. Your victory has given hope to countless worlds." This marked the beginning of a new era for Earth. Humanity, once isolated and thought primitive, now found itself at the center of a growing coalition of species united against the Council's tyranny. As Earth's influence spread, more of humanity's ancient history came to light. They discovered the true extent of their ancestors' civilization, a vast network of worlds and stations scattered across the galaxy, many still waiting to be reawakened. 1 year to the day after the Council's attack, Arya stood before a massive crowd in the rebuilt New York City. Behind her, a holographic display showed images of Earth's new colonies and allies across the stars. "A year ago, we faced extinction," she began, her voice carrying to every corner of the globe and beyond, to the millions watching from Mars, the Jupiter station, and a dozen other outposts. "We were attacked, deemed too dangerous to join the galactic community. But we proved the Council right, in the best possible way." The crowd cheered, a sound echoed by millions across the solar system. "We are dangerous," Arya continued, a smile playing on her lips. "Dangerous to tyranny, dangerous to those who would suppress the growth and potential of others. We have remembered who we are, and the galaxy will never be the same." As if to punctuate her words, a massive ship appeared in the sky above. Humanity's first true starship in millennia, built with the reclaimed knowledge of their ancestors. "Today, we take our first step back into the wider galaxy," Arya announced. "Not as conquerors, but as explorers, as protectors, as the race we were always meant to be." The ship's engines flared to life, a bright beacon of hope and promise. As it ascended towards the stars, humanity looked up not with fear, but with anticipation. The universe awaited, and they were finally ready to meet it. The story of Earth's awakening spread across the galaxy like wildfire. On countless worlds, oppressed species looked to the skies with new hope. And in the dark places between the stars, the Council trembled. For humanity had not just defended their world. They had changed the course of galactic history. The children of Earth were awake, and the cosmos would never be the same again.